I need help. I seriously need some help. So good morning, guys. Welcome back to Home Life with Rebecca. I thought I would do a sit and chat, kind of a little health update, and at the end of this video I will show you all of the wildflowers that are growing. Okay, I've put my hat on because I thought if I got out here early enough I wouldn't have so much sun, but the sun is already bright, so I might end up moving. But I really need some help, you guys. So I have been to see my doctors. So first I went and saw my primary care physician. Do they call it a well check for adults? I'm so used to saying the yearly well checks for my kids. Well, me and Adam had our well checks done for the year, and he just asked me how everything was going, and so I told him basically I feel the same. I feel like something's wrong and my energy is still depleted. I don't like the light here. I don't know, guys. I might have to go inside. Hi, Binks. I just felt like my energy was still very depleted. And anyways, long story short, he was telling me that a lot of times with autoimmune diseases like lupus, rheumatoid, Crohn's, what's the other one? Hashimoto's disease. A lot of times those autoimmune diseases won't show up in your blood work for several years, even if they're testing for them. So I was telling him I don't want to WebMD myself, or because we all go down that rabbit hole where we're oh, I have this symptom and this symptom and this symptom. But I just really felt like I had symptoms of lupus. I get rashes on my face. I get where the sun actually makes me feel more irritated and irritates my skin no matter how much sunscreen I put on. And I told my dermatologist that too. That's what he gave me, that bleaching cream. But I'm so careful, guys. I know that I look tan, but it's not a real tan. It's from that lotion that I use. I even went and purchased one of the mitts that look like oven mitts to really put it on good, because I don't want to be in the sun. So I'm always wearing a hat. I have SPF 50 on my face, with the makeup and just the whole 9 yards. I am very, very careful. But the minute I'm just in the sun a little bit, even covered, I start getting brown spots all over my face. My joints are always very stiff. I have the Raynaud syndrome, where if it gets too cold, I lose all the color in my hands and feet. But now I'm getting it if I get triggered with anxiety, or my heart rate goes up a little bit. It'll happen too. Just all the feeling will go out of my hands and feet. It happened when we had to go to court a couple weeks ago with my daughter. It was a very highly stressful situation, and before I knew it, I had no feeling in my hands, no feelings in my feet, and when the blood starts to come back, just when it's cold, it's very painful. So I just have all these symptoms, and so they ran some more lab work, and so they ran my lab work, and it came back with my triglycerides were just barely elevated, which I know that's not good. I need to have some major changes to my diet, which we will get to. But the ANA levels, I guess that's what they run for lupus, I'm assuming, came back elevated. So I don't want to have an autoimmune disease, but I also felt like I was going crazy. I keep having all these symptoms and everything just kept coming back. You're fine. And now it's come back. Okay, hold up. It's not fine. So they've referred me to a rheumatologist, and so I'm just waiting for the referral for that. Now, going to diet, I went and saw my psychiatrist yesterday. Okay, it was just, the sun was right in my eyes. So y'all, it's not even 7:30. I tried to wake up super early and get ready and stuff because Kennedy has therapy. I thought I'll get up super early and I'll make a video so I'm not interrupted by the kids, because it's just very hard for me to make videos when they're home. Allie's up for work, and now the cat's meowing at the door, and the sun's too bright. It's like, there's never a good time. So anyways, I need to change my diet. So my psychiatrist was asking me if they tested my thyroid. I said, I don't know. So we pulled up my lab work, and she said, I just find it so strange that, you know, you say you don't feel good, but then they don't test everything. And I don't know why my doctor didn't test my thyroid. You would think that would be, especially at my age, a thing to look at. But she put me on a very low dose of thyroid medication, like lower than the lowest dose, like half of the dose, just to see if it helps with the fatigue, and where I gain the weight in like my stomach and stuff, where I tend to hold on to things. And I think she's right. I think a lot of like autoimmune, type 2 diabetes, just all of those things, like I really think you can reverse a lot of those symptoms with diet. Like I think gut health is so important, and that is really where it starts. And my diet is terrible. So even when we ate plant-based, it wasn't whole food plant-based. I mean, I drank the smoothies, but I was always eating like the processed plant-based foods. And then now I just eat everything. Like when I got put on the Adderall, it really helped my eating disorder triggers, like my thoughts and the anxiety over it. Like I don't have those anymore. So when I first started taking Adderall, because it does tend to make you lose weight, which was great. I mean, I had weight to lose, so it's not like, you know, I needed to be monitored like some of my kids that were, you know, couldn't afford to lose weight and got put on stimulants. But it took all the anxiety away around food. Like if I ate something like a popsicle, like, you know, drumstick or piece of pizza, I didn't have to, there wasn't those intrusive thoughts of, well, when can I get rid of this? How can I get rid of this? How many laps do I need to walk at the park to, you know, get rid of these calories? You know, when can I throw out my food? There was none of that. Like it just poof went away. And all these years, like I was misdiagnosed with like depression, because they keep putting me on antidepressants, and they actually made me worse. They would make me more depressed. They would make me actually have thoughts. Like it was horrible, medication after medication. And then they put me on Adderall, and boom, like my whole life changed. Like it was just, and it was instant. Like those thoughts were gone. Like it helped with the anxiety. All of a sudden, if my house was a mess or things were out of place, I didn't feel overwhelmed. I could focus. I wasn't up all night running things through my mind over and over. It was crazy. It was crazy. Like I felt like so many years of my life were wasted on diets and on these horrible thoughts that I was just fat and ugly and not worthy, and it was just so bad. Like Adderall like literally changed my life. So a few months ago, my psychiatrist recommended that I try cutting something out of my diet, like sugar, to see if it would help with the other problems I've been having, going back to like the autoimmune stuff that I still don't know if I have it. Just because my levels are elevated doesn't mean I have it. But it's going back to that. She's like, maybe if we go to like what you're feeding yourself, maybe it will relieve some of those symptoms. Well, at the time, so I think this was like 6 months ago, I had decided to go off of Adderall because I felt like I'd been on it for quite a bit of time. And that's, you know, a lot of times if you take it for too long, like with any medicine, it'll stop having the same effect like it does when you first take it. So and stimulants are one of the medications that you don't have to wean yourself off of them. You can just stop. It's not like an antidepressant, like where you like feel sick if you what is happening with my hair? I haven't combed my hair yet. Where you can just like, you can't stop taking them because it'll make you feel sick. So I stopped taking it, and at the same time I tried to cut sugar out of my diet, and it was horrible. Like right away, those thoughts came back. Like if I messed up, like if I had coffee creamer, like I would forget. Like the first day, like the very first morning, I forgot and I put my coffee creamer in my coffee. Like I was just beating myself up over it, like, oh, I've messed up. And it was either I'm not going to eat anything because it's too hard to read labels, and it is hard to read labels when you're not used to it, and you're like, you don't know what to eat, and you don't have the money to go spend on like tons of groceries and, you know, stuff without sugar, and is this fruit safe, and just like, because I feel like every diet has so many restrictions, and I'm not talking diets to lose weight, I'm just like gut related. It's like, okay, keto, plant-based, the Whole30 or whatever that is, where you do something for 30 days, like, it is outrageous, and it just made my mind so crazy. I think I lasted 5 days before my husband was like, no. He's like, I'm starting to see all the same patterns from before. Like, I was even getting to the point where I was gonna start purging again, because I just have this guilt, and I'm doing it wrong, and it's, you know, I'm not worthy, because it was like that. I was like, oh well, I already messed up, I'm just gonna eat everything, or I've already messed up, so I'm gonna eat nothing. And so I went back into my doctor, and she was like, go back on the Adderall. And so I did, and those thoughts went away. But I didn't go back to the no sugar thing. And so, and it had been a while since I had seen her. So yesterday in her office, you know, we were talking about it, and I was telling her, we were looking at my lab results, and, you know, just because my triglycerides weren't to the point where I need medication, they are a little bit elevated. And heart disease does run in my family. It runs on my dad's side. So like, no, and type 2 diabetes also runs in my family too. So I mean, my glucose levels and all that were fine, but I need to start being careful. And I keep saying that. I keep saying I'm gonna give up soda, I'm gonna give up eating the ice cream at night, I'm gonna blah 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 blah, and I don't do it. Especially now that I can't exercise like the way I want to because of my hands, which I'll get to. I have found, like, even, you guys, I just bought that Pilates bar. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Still talking about diet. I'll go to the I just hit myself in the face. I'll do the exercise thing in a minute. My hair is like bugging me though. I'm gonna fix it real quick. Okay, good enough. I can't stand, like, I can't wait until these grow out more and I can tuck them behind my ears. I'm thinking that I'm gonna get a haircut. My hair is just it's too long. Like, I can't do anything with it. I don't know how to do hair. It's too thin to do like fun things with. But I don't want to get a haircut until my bangs, so I can at least put those behind my ears, because, yeah, anyway. So I was talking to my psychiatrist yesterday, and she said, I want you for 3 weeks to give up one thing. She's like, let's pick something, because a lot of times with autoimmune disorders, sugar or gluten plays a huge role in like inflammation and things like that. So she said, pick one. So I picked sugar. Now the sun's gonna put the blind marks on my face. Oh my gosh, I have nowhere to record. So I picked sugar. And the reason I picked sugar, because I think it would be harder, was because with the gluten, I don't have the money right now to go buy gluten-free crap. Like, I just don't. Like, Adam gets paid on Thursday. We are very tight right now with money. We're waiting for a settlement check that's coming. I can't wait because we'll be debt free again. But anyway, I'm like, I don't have the money to go spend on like groceries like that. So I will try to do the sugar. And she told me, don't get off the Adderall, but eventually I need to. I think we're gonna switch to something like Vyvanse, because I've just been on the Adderall for too long. But she's like, don't do it right now, because we don't want the same thing happening. I'm getting very frustrated at, I have nowhere to record in this house. I'm sitting on my floor. Okay, Cooper, you gonna say good morning? You gonna say good morning? Say hi. So she said, don't get off the Adderall, stay on that for these 3 weeks, and then when I go back in 3 weeks, we'll see how I'm feeling. We'll see if there's any difference, like with the inflammation, with my fatigue. So this is gonna be hard, you guys. I need help. Like I already had my coffee creamer this morning, like, because it's there. So I've already had sugar. Granted, I haven't had a lot of sugar, but I've already had it. So like, I don't know what to eat. And she said she doesn't want me to not eat fruit. She said, go ahead and eat the fruit. We're not going to be like that crazy with it. Just like processed stuff like my coffee creamer. So like I said, Adam gets paid tomorrow. I'm gonna go to the grocery store and get, you know, maybe some sugar-free creamer or something so I can at least have my morning coffee. Hi, Coops. Hi, boy. But I need to get rid of the soda. And she said really, like, I really shouldn't even be drinking like the diet sodas because the aspartame and stuff is so bad for you. We'll see, because I feel like I do need to wean myself from soda, so I might need to switch to like Coke Zero or something for a couple weeks, just because I get horrible caffeine headaches. It's so bad. I was talking with my friend and she was telling me, you know, if you can just get past the first 3 to 4 days, that's gonna be the worst while your body's like detoxing, because sugar is such an addiction. So these next few days are gonna be hard, you guys. Like, she told me to look up Trim Healthy Mama, which I think I've heard of before, like a long time ago, like when YouTube like first came out. So I'm gonna go see like what kind of recipes they have, because I need help. This is gonna be so hard, but I have to do it. I keep saying I'm gonna do it and I don't do it. And this has nothing to do with me losing weight, which, let's be honest, I probably could lose 20 pounds, like, and you probably wouldn't notice. Like, this is what happens when you get to be this age. Like, you carry it, like, at least for me, I carry it all on my stomach. Like, I'm constantly backed up, if you know what I mean. I'm sluggish, I'm tired, my joints hurt, and I'm tired of feeling tired. Like, I'm tired of feeling that way. I have to do this. And then when I see the rheumatologist, I have a feeling that they're probably going to tell me a lot of the same things the psychiatrist is telling me, like diet plays such an important part in autoimmune diseases, and they're probably going to tell me the same thing. Let's see what happens when you cut sugar. Let's see what happens when you cut gluten. Let's see what happens when you da. You know what I mean? So I need help. So if you guys have any like suggestions or books or YouTube channels to watch, send them my way. I was reading like if lupus, and again, like I said, I don't know if I have lupus, and there's so many different forms of lupus. It's ridiculous. It's kind of like ADHD and autism. It's just not, oh, you have autism, okay, do this. Like, no, nothing's ever that simple. Oh, and like with like lupus, like it explains the hair loss, the brittle nails, I'm more prone to the brown spots, like all that stuff. So I'm thinking, I don't know, I'm like I said, I don't want to have it, but I also was tired of feeling crazy. So just the fact that my levels were actually elevated with the ANA test, I was like, okay, I know my body. I know something is not right. Moving on, that I've talked for 15 minutes now. Exercise. So I went and saw the new hand doctor. So before I was seeing like an orthopedic doctor. So he did everything orthopedic related. So he told me to get a second opinion. So I have basal thumb arthritis and tennis elbow. He told me to get a second opinion because my x-rays were bad and they'd given me the steroid shots, and that made it worse. Like, it was the worst pain I've ever had in my life when they did the steroid shots, or the cortisone shots, I think that's what they're called. And so when I went back into him, he's like, you know, I just never seen it this bad on somebody your age. I've never done surgery on somebody your age. I want you to get a second opinion. And he had referred me for like physical therapy for my tennis elbow, and because he didn't know what else to do, he referred me for physical therapy also for my thumbs. So I held off on the physical therapy. I held off on getting the braces that he told me to go buy because I wanted to get that second opinion first. I didn't want to start stuff and then the other doctor tells me something completely different, and then I'm canceling appointments, and because we have Medicaid, it gets like, you know, crazy. So I didn't want to do that. So I waited, and I had my appointment Monday. I really like this doctor. Like, I really feel like, and nothing against the other doctor that I saw, but I just really felt like he knew what he was talking about, and he explained to me, because the other doctor was like, I don't know why you have it like this. I'm like, I've never seen this before. Where this doctor was like, do you want me to tell you why you have it like this? And I said yes. And he said, from pregnancies, the more pregnancies you have, the greater chance, and he sees it more in women. He said 10 women will come in before one man will come in. that has the arthritis, is because when you're pregnant, you have all the estrogen in your body. It's to prepare your body to push something out of a very small hole. It prepares it to, basically stretch it. So he said it doesn't just stretch that part of the body, it ends up stretching everywhere. That's why women have such bad lower back pain and sciatic nerve pain and everything. So it stretched all of these too, all these joints. And because I've had 7 pregnancies and a hysterectomy, because after you give birth and after you have a hysterectomy, all of a sudden all those extra hormones that you were having during that stuff whoosh, goes away. So your body is constantly going through all these changes, and then boom, you throw me into menopause, more hormones, and now I'm lacking estrogen. It just makes for kind of like the perfect storm in your body. And the fact that he was able to kind of explain that, and I'm like, you know what, that makes a lot of sense, because my sister was saying she's starting to have pain here, and she's had 6 pregnancies, 4 live births. But I mean, even with the pregnancies that didn't, her miscarriages, your body still is making all those hormones. So I'm like, that makes sense. Now he said, but he hasn't ever done, I don't know if he said he didn't or he's not done very many the surgeries on somebody my age though, because I am relatively young still for it. Usually sees it more upper 50s, 60s. So I'm 46. So it is fairly young. But when I told him about the autoimmune stuff, he said, yes, see what the rheumatologist says, because that can definitely play a factor in like speeding this type of things up, causing the inflammation, making it feel worse, triggering it. So that's kind of where I'm at. So he did not schedule me for surgery yet. He was reviewing my x-rays. He said to get physical therapy for the tennis elbow, not this. He said, do not do physical therapy on my thumbs. It'll make it worse. I will be in pain. I'm already in pain. He says ideally they don't want to put you under the knife, but because it's affecting daily things now, like it hurts to put lotion on, it hurts to wash my hair, it hurts to do everything. It's probably going to end up where I'm getting surgery. So he's supposed to be calling me back to see, and I'll see what he says about it. Oh, coops. But he did tell me for the tennis elbow to get physical therapy and to get a wrist brace as well, because that will help relieve some of the pressure in tennis elbow. It's just so hard to treat because you're supposed to rest it. It's very hard to rest it when it's your dominant arm. Oh my gosh. I told him it's because I just, I vacuum too much. He said he has seen tennis elbow, or sometimes the patient needs surgery. But he said most times it goes away, but sometimes it'll take like 7 years for it to go away. I'm like, that's wonderful. That's not something that I want to hear, but he was just being honest. It's a nuisance. Anyways, that leads me into the exercise. I was telling him, like, I bought that bar, and it was at first easier to hold, and now it hurts. It hurts my tennis elbow. I was like, I can't win. Like, I tried to do yoga again the other day. I can't lay my hands flat because of my thumb, so a lot of poses I can't do. So I'm like, I can't hold dumbbells because it hurts. I'm like, what? I need some strength exercises, like seriously. And so I found some, like this lady, I forget her name, Jessica, I don't know, but she does like Pilates for elderly women. And I know I'm not elderly yet. Yes, I'm getting there, but I'm not, not there yet. But they're very, very gentle. And if she does any like yoga poses, she's not holding them for long periods of time. And so I'm doing that. She does use some dumbbells, but I'm just opting to not do that right now until I get this fixed. But at least I'm able to do something to kind of get some strengthening exercises going on. And they do recommend swimming, but I don't have anywhere to swim. I know we have the pool, like from the park, but there's too many freaking people on there. I can't do laps and stuff in there, and they don't offer like a water aerobics or anything. And I don't have the money to join a gym. So that's out. but I'm just doing what I can do. I'm trying to walk every day. I've been riding my bike, you know, just trying to stay active, because I will sit in color for like an hour and then I'm like, I need to get up and get moving. So yeah, there was my little sit and chat and health update. Kennedy's birthday is on Friday and Allie's birthday is next week. I got my in-laws coming in Friday. Got a lot of stuff to do. I need to go to the Dollar Tree and get like a gift bag for their presents. I need to get some pink paper plates, or not pink paper plates, a pink tablecloth, because the little Barbie set that I ordered didn't come with a tablecloth. I thought it did, but it didn't. So I just need to get a tablecloth and like some plastic pink silverware. And we have breakfast at the park on Saturday that me and Adam are helping to cook, so we got to be up early on Saturday. So Friday, I don't know what time my in-laws will be here, but that is Kennedy's actual birthday. She wants a Happy Meal from McDonald's. We've got her free ice cream that I'm going to take her to get from the library. And I'll probably take her to the Dollar Tree to pick out just a few things so she has, you know, something to open. But then Saturday we'll give her presents, and I'll give Allie just a little bit of her presents because I'm going to take her shopping for her actual birthday. And Kennedy's requested steak and mushrooms for her birthday dinner, so I don't know if we're going to do that Friday night or Saturday. I need to organize my pantry. It's a mess. I need to clean out my fridge. It's a mess. I need to clean out the utility room where we keep our extra food. It's a mess. I need to do those things so that I know when Adam gets paid tomorrow, like, I can make a very detailed list of what groceries we need to do. And the upcoming video is going to be when we get our settlement check and we pay off all our debt, we're going to do a pretty big food, food haul, because I feel like I haven't been grocery shopping in so long. Like, we're running to get, you know, we're out of milk or we're out of lettuce, you know, those types of things, but I haven't done like a food haul in so long. Like, we really need to do, and that's another reason why today I want to try to get that stuff done. Okay, this was very long. I'm gonna go show you my wildflowers. I feel like my dad gave me some mountain bluebells a couple years ago, and they're growing. Like, again, I didn't plant anything in the front, they just reseeded. I guess that's why they're called wildflowers. But it's so nice to see the seeds that my dad gave me growing, because, you know, it's my dad. So, oh, and my sister and my brother-in-law are buying me a locket to put some of his ashes in. At first I didn't want it, but I do now, so I need to pick that out. So I'm just gonna say goodbye now and then end you with the wildflowers. So chicken tendies, I hope everybody is having a fabulous week, and I'll probably see you on Friday and Saturday when I record some of the birthday parties. Bye guys. Look at all the wildflowers, and look at how tall my sunflower is getting. So these are the perennials. But look, the wildflowers grew anyway. Most of this is still grass. I've been trying to pull it, but it's hard to pull it without getting the wildflowers. But there is some growing. It's just such a pretty view. I bought some flowers on clearance right there. I'm gonna put them in this because those are pretty. I think those are done, so I'm gonna do that. It's just so pretty. These are done too. Most of these are still good. Some of the hanging ones might be done. I didn't have a lot of money. I was trying to find the flats like we did last time, but they didn't have any. But see, look how many are coming up. Here's that flower we came out last time. It hadn't bloomed. Look how pretty it is. The sun's really bright. Hi, Jack. So yeah, we got some wildflowers after all. Quite a bit, actually. And look at our strawberries. The other day I came out here to pick a strawberry. There was a big old garden spider on it. And I was like, yep, I'm good. I don't want a strawberry that bad.